So, what you read was true. I've booked 3 flights in one night. I can explain. I've questioned if I'm going through a crisis, just questioning everything. A couple nights ago, I booked 3 flights spontaneously. Wasn't planned. No. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about what happened, unpack that, whilst I do my makeup for the day. Or I do another, sit down, do my makeup, whilst I explain things that I've been doing. I also just wanted to talk about how studying abroad has been since the last video. I kind of sat down and spoke about it. I am going to start off with the ear tier. I finally tried using it because I was using the Soph.y. I was using this cushion, but I really wanted to try the tier one, and I do prefer this one. I find this one really good. So, how it started, my cousin Fiona is doing her year abroad in Singapore. She came to Korea last year around September time. I have a video on that if you want to watch it. That one I actually have been meaning to go and see her because my mum really wants me to see her, get the chance to see another country, especially if my cousin's there to show me around and just spend time with her. I didn't actually think I was going to go to Singapore in the end, just because, I don't know, I just couldn't see myself at the time organising it and sitting down to plan out when I'm gonna go. But I was messaging her and she brought up how she's going to finish her year abroad around mid-May. She finishes sooner than I do. I finish at the end of June. So that was kind of like, if I really do want to go, I need to plan it sooner than later. And she'd said before, if I did want to go to Singapore, that I could stay with her in her dorms because her roommate moved out earlier. So that seemed like a perfect opportunity to have a free place to stay and just get to be with my cousin and go around with her. A problem that I've actually been having recently is my makeup and my skincare pilling, because I didn't really have that problem before, but it's been happening a lot recently. I don't know if it's my cream that I use. I have been meaning to try a different one, so maybe it's a sign. So after talking to Fiona a little bit, I just decided that day. I was like, okay, I'm gonna come to Singapore. This is potentially a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I don't know when I'd next go to Singapore, and England to Singapore is so much further and more expensive. I'd have to pay for somewhere to stay. But here, I might as well do it, you know? I'm going next week. It's crazy. So I'm going next week. It does take over 6 hours to get there, so it's not the worst. But the one thing I've heard about Singapore is it gets very, very hot, very humid all year round, very warm. And one huge thing about me is I sweat so easily. When I first came to Korea, oh my gosh, I was dying. It was so awful. Okay, you can still see some hyperpigmentation underneath, but yesterday I bought these 2 creams. They're getting very popular. They are from the Korean pharmacies, so a bit stronger than just typical Korean skincare, I guess. My sister bought them when she came and she said that they're good, so I will let you know. I tried it last night and it feels legit. Okay, I'm just going to add some concealer now. I'm able to bring one big suitcase, I'm pretty sure, but I don't know if I want to do that. I think I might just bring my smaller one, and I don't think I'll fill it all the way, just so it's easier to travel. I won't need to bring jackets and things like that if it's really warm there. This trip is more about just I'm not expecting to buy a lot of things or anything like that. I just want to try good food, see what the culture's like there, visit some cool places. Oh my goodness. Basically, I booked my flight for to get back here Sunday, but it's actually midnight, so it technically counts as the Monday, and I get back at 6 a.m. on Monday, and I have a 9 a.m. class on Monday, my Korean class, and I can't miss any more classes because I ended up missing like 2 classes when my family came a few weeks ago, and Korean universities are very strict on attendance here. At least that's my experience taking my classes and this university. They say if you miss 4 classes, then you fail the class, which is not what I've experienced before. So I don't want to miss a 3rd Korean class. So what I'm planning on doing is, as soon as I get to Incheon Airport, taking either an airport limousine or Uber straight to my class. I just know I'll be so exhausted, but I can't afford to miss any more classes. Okay, so you might have heard that and been like, Sophie, that's not very spontaneous. You kind of planned that. You were anticipating going to some degree. And I agree. But let me tell you, after I booked that flight to Singapore, I was talking to my roommate and she was like, "You're going to Singapore?" I was like, "Yeah." And we were talking and we ended up looking at flights just to other nearby Asian countries and just gauging what the prices were like. Tell me why it was so cheap. And when I say cheap, I mean cheap compared to like if we're in England trying to get to these countries, because it's really expensive. Yeah, I think we looked at Thailand first, which is where we're going. We're going to Thailand. And tell me why it was saying like £120 return flights. Crazy. It was saying £100 as well. And we were like, should we go? Should we go to Thailand? And she was like, let's go to Thailand. I mean, I think something that my roommate and I are just open to is traveling and seeing new places, which is why we did get onto the conversation of traveling together. We are going... See, I don't even know. I don't even remember the dates. And we had to choose flights that made it able for us to still not miss classes really here, and also made it so we didn't arrive too early or too late at Thailand. So I think that made the prices a little bit higher. So I think maybe it came to like 130 something pounds, or maybe even cheaper for our return flights, including like a big suitcase, I'm pretty sure. So we were like, oh my goodness. And before we booked that, we also decided to look at hotels to see how cheap it would be to stay there for a few nights. And tell me why the 5-star hotels it came to like £100 per person for 5 nights. It was honestly insane. I hadn't seen stuff like that before. I've never stayed at a 5-star hotel because they're usually so expensive. But after seeing that, we were like, yeah, let's do it. I'm gonna let my concealer settle for a bit. She then asked one of her best friends that's also here in Korea this semester if she wanted to come along as well. And she was like, yeah, because prices are crazy and none of us have been to Thailand before, so we thought it's pretty close and we don't know when we'll be able to do that again. We're like, YOLO. Ended up picking that and the hotel, which is crazy pretty. It has an outdoor swimming pool. We got breakfast included. It was like £6 per person for the 5 nights to have breakfast. When I tell you I'm so excited for the breakfast, I don't think I've ever had hotel breakfast with the buffet and getting your juice and your pastries. I'm so excited. So we ended up booking it that night. It came to like, I want to say like £240 for the return flight and the stay for like 5 nights, which is wild to me. I feel like any other circumstances from back home, being able to book for that cheap is hard to find, and the place looks really nice. We haven't looked too into what we're going to do there yet because it was so spontaneous, because I'm so spontaneous. But we do want to see like beaches and temples and just markets, just see what it's like and just enjoy ourselves there, because I think it will be nice, relaxing, good weather, and I'm just so grateful I get to do this. Okay, I'm gonna do my eyebrows now. I don't think I can emphasize enough how out of character this kind of spontaneity is, because I am just quite an anxious person. I like to know things ahead of time and just know what I'm going to do so I can plan, prepare mentally for whatever I'm gonna do. Maybe I've turned a new leaf. I wonder why.
Oh my god. No, I don't want to cry anymore.
So if that wasn't enough for me, because apparently I'm greedy, my roommate and I, we were also looking at other countries, including Hong Kong. My roommate saw a single flight to Hong Kong for like £45, and I was like, what do you mean? That's crazy. What do you mean? So after a little more searching, my roommate, she's also been to Hong Kong. She spent a summer in Hong Kong, also with her best friend that we're going to Thailand with. And she just said, you know, she loved it with the food and just the transport there, the experience. And the other day, this is what sold it for me. The other day, I was watching, what's the YouTuber? I'll put her here. Is it Inca Lam? And I watched her video eating in Hong Kong for like 24 hours. It was along the lines of that. I was just so enamored. I just loved all the food that she was eating. I was like, I want to eat that food. I haven't eaten it in so long. I just love Hong Kong food. I can't concentrate, sorry. After booking Thailand, out of curiosity, I wanted to see how much Hong Kong would be flying there and back, and it was £90. £90. And my roommate said, you know, she was like, guess how much it was for me to fly there from the UK. I'm assuming her return flight. When she went to Hong Kong, she said it was over £1,000. And I was just like, that's insane. Comparing the prices to right now from Korea, so crazy. I was honestly like, do you want to go to Hong Kong as well? Because it's so cheap compared to back at home. And she was like, yeah, which I love. And her friend was also down for going as well, because she's also been there and really loved it. So I really like this setting spray. I found it a little bit difficult to find setting sprays here, but I found this too cool for school one. So then we looked at dates that would be possible for them. I actually don't remember what the dates were. Like a week after coming back from Thailand, we're like, let's do that as well. But didn't want to cut it too close to finals. And even if it is just a shorter holiday, just a couple days, I was like, I'll take it. I just want to see, I really crave to see Hong Kong. I'm going to contour now. I am so excited! They were more familiar with the areas when we were looking at hotels, but even so, our hotel was pretty reasonably priced as well. I don't want to get it wrong. Maybe a bit over £100 for the like 3 nights we spent there. I think it's a little more than Thailand, but I wasn't mad. I just really wanted to go there. And actually, I think one of the reasons why the flights were quite cheap was because no carry-on or luggage was included. Basically, it's just your personal item, so like a backpack with your stuff in it. That's all they'll allow for the flight there and back. You could pay to add, you know, a suitcase, but we were like, let's make it a backpacking trip, which I've also never done before, and I don't think I'm very good at, because I just have a lot of stuff that I feel like I just need with me. I get a little bit anxious if, you know, I don't have everything with me. Sometimes I do think, what if I need this? What if I need that? But we were like, let's do it. Let's just do it. Which will be interesting for sure. Gonna have to very tightly fold and pack my clothes and toiletries and makeup. I also know it's going to be quite hot there as well, right? So maybe it will just be lighter makeup. Nothing crazy, because I'll sweat it all off. Okay, it was actually a little difficult finding good timings for this flight, because my roommate has class on Thursday from 12 p.m. to around 1:15, I'm pretty sure. And we didn't want her to miss class. But that was kind of the only dates that would work for us, Thursday to Sunday, because I have class on Monday as well. So our flight is around like 4:15, but that means straight after finishing class, me and her have to travel from our university to Incheon, which takes around an hour, and then sort out check-in and security and board by that time, which is cutting it close a little, seeing as with flights it's really important to stay punctual and make sure you have enough time for security, things like that, because you never know how long it could take sometimes. And we were like, we can make it. We can do that. We've got it sorted. We could do that. Okay, I do think it is possible. If we didn't think it was possible, we wouldn't have booked it. The day after we booked this, we were like questioning things, for sure. So now that there's that element involved, can I say I'm spontaneous now? I can, right? I'm just so crazy. I won't be able to buy a lot of stuff there. I got into the loop of watching Instagram reels about what you could do in Hong Kong, and I think there is stuff that I want to buy there, but I just won't be able to bring back, which is fair. Honestly, the main thing I want there is the food. Honestly. I feel like the closest thing I can get to that kind of stuff is going to Chinatown in London for the day back at home. And that's expensive. It's pricey. I think actually it is like the same prices in Hong Kong, but you know, just getting to experience it firsthand, the real good stuff, I'm just so excited for. So, you know, my friends and family were like, what are you doing? Yeah, I mean, this money that I'm spending for these trips, I was planning on spending for another trip to go to Japan with someone, but that fell through, and I just thought I do want to experience going to other places, seeing as they're so close and I have the opportunity to, and I do have the funds available to do this. I just thought I didn't want to regret not doing enough during my time studying abroad. And I was talking to my cousin, and she's had the chance to go to like Vietnam, Malaysia, Taiwan, I think. I can't remember what she said, but she's allowed herself to have these experiences and travel to different places. And I was like, I want to do that. And I don't think I'm at the stage where I could do solo traveling yet. I think that's still a bit too scary for me. But I was like, yeah, I'll totally go with my roommate. I love my roommate. Let's do that. So I'm excited. I'm very excited. As I'm filming this, I'm actually going to Busan on Thursday with one of my good friends. I honestly wanted to emphasize traveling and seeing more places outside of Seoul this semester, because I don't think I did that like at all. I was just I think I was already very enamored by Seoul and what it has to offer. Hopefully I am able to see other cities in Korea as well. Do I have the funds for it and the time for it? We'll have to see. But yeah, I just feel very privileged to be able to do this and, you know, afterwards say that I have done this. I'm just very grateful that I have, for example, people to go with to Thailand and Hong Kong, and, you know, I have my cousin in Singapore to show me around. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm just gonna do some eyeshadow. So with it being a little over halfway into my second semester here, I am starting to feel like I'm running out of time. It's kind of scary, kind of already feeling the anticipation of going back home and leaving this place, not knowing when I'll next see this city. I don't know if, you know, there would be a time and a place for me to live in Korea in the future. Of course, being a student here and living in dorms and just having this kind of experience is so unique, and I know I'm not going to have that again. And I think it's so special, but at the same time it's a little scary. As much as there have been hard times, I've loved this experience so much, and I'll always be so grateful for it. I think also the fact that I'm going back to the UK, it's quite a different atmosphere, and there are things that I've really enjoyed here that are different to back at home. I really like, you know, how late the shops stay open for. It just really feels like there's so much to do all the time, and of course the types of shops that they have and the pricing will be a big thing for me. I don't tend to shop a lot back home because, like I've said before, I'm a little bit frugal, but here I feel like I'm able to do that more freely, and I've really enjoyed that. And just things, even like dessert shops, photo booths, you know, cute shops, the clothing style, it's not really as attainable back at home. That's something I'm anticipating. I'm like, do I need to stock up on certain stuff before I go home, because I won't be able to get it, or if I do, it'll be so expensive. So that's something. Also the transport, I really love the transport around here. So cheap, it can cost like less than £1 for a subway journey to somewhere that's so far away. And if you compare that to trains back at home, like, it really deters me from wanting to travel and go to different places because of how expensive it is. Even buses and the tubes in London, it's also more expensive. So just the aesthetics here are so amazing. Even if you're just going to regular cafes, some of the desserts can be just so lovely and beautiful, and just the aesthetics of shops are so nice, and you can't really get that back at home. I think another big thing is just the freedom that I have here. I was able to just take a year out of my life and enjoy what I wanted to, and not have to worry about life back at home, which I know I'm going to have to think about again. No! I think I've gotten worse at putting on liquid liner because I don't really do it as often, but I'm doing it again now because I've run out of my pencil liner. I need to buy more of that. It's getting to the point where I'm thinking in my brain what I need to be stocking up on before I leave, like skincare, makeup, types of clothes that are really cheap here. Also, something I'm worrying about is going back home for my final year. That's terrifying. It's been almost a year since I've done work related to my degree. I feel like all the knowledge fell out of my brain. I've forgotten everything. We'll have to see. One thing I do know I want to do is to continue to make videos, even if it's not exciting stuff about a week in my life in Seoul, things like that. I still want to document my life and my experiences and what I'm doing for myself. So hopefully there's people that still enjoy that. Aha! I did buy a new mascara. I actually ended up getting the wrong one. Currently, I'm just trying to enjoy the privilege of being here and the experiences I'm going to have, and just the time that I have left here. It's been tough. There's been personal stuff that's been going on, but I don't want to stop that from enjoying the things that I do have here. I don't want to regret not doing anything the last couple months that I have here, and there's still so much to see. Okay, it's me done. Oh, my lips. I forgot again. Okay, I think that's everything I wanted to talk about. Just honestly, this is just so crazy to me doing something like this. I just wanted to have a way to remember this moment. I mean, I'm really excited to be able to capture going to Singapore, Thailand and Hong Kong as well. I'm excited to film whilst I'm there and show you guys what it's like. Honestly, at the moment, kind of taking things day by day, just seeing how I'm feeling and, allowing myself to do what I want to do. And sometimes if I'm too tired or just not feeling like I want to do stuff, it's okay too. But yeah,